Hey, badass business owners. You know what? On this show, we're always talking about how you can grow your business and how you can make more money and how you need to know your business numbers. But I want to pause for a second because one of the things we don't talk about is we don't talk about your pain points. We talk about how important it is for you to know your customer's pain point. But what is your pain point? Let's face it, running a business is not always fun and games. There's some days you wake up and you just love the business that you run. And then there's other days when you're just like, I'm so done with this. I'm so over it. And I no longer want to do it. It's a love-hate thing and it's tug and pull at all times. Now, there's some people that wake up every single day and they're like, oh my God, I love what I do. I get to do it every single day and la, la, la. And you know what? They're very positive people and everything else. And that's great. That's fantastic. If you build a business where you just never find a day that you don't like it, then one, that's fantastic that you've got that attitude. But two, I wonder if you kind of ever have, if you're pushing yourself, if you're doing everything that you could possibly do, because let's face it, crap happens. Sometimes the day is horrible because you just nothing went right. You know, if something could go wrong, it would go wrong. Or one customer was just a pain in the keister and just their attitude, and they made it difficult for you to do the job that you were trying to do. Or someone came in, if you have a brick and mortar, and they just said a bunch of stuff and you're just like, whoa, where'd that come from? Or they were just making a scene over nothing and it was something minor. Whatever the case may be, there's a love-hate relationship with our business. Now, here's what we have to do though, is we have to figure out that depending upon where you're at today in your business, your pain point might be a little bit different. But when I sit back and I think about all the different pain points that I run into as I talk to small business owners, what's interesting is some of the things that are very common amongst small business owners like yourself. For example, one of the things that happen is we start our business and we just start working and hustling and we start doing everything we can and we start building a business. You know, if you think about it, when you're trying to get it off the ground, you're hustling, you're working hard, you're working lots of hours, you're taking every job under the sun, trying to grow that business. And then what happens is you start to have some success. And behind that success are a lot of hours. And then you find out that, oh my gosh, you become addicted because one, you got to keep, when you work, you get money. And when you have money, obviously that helps you pay the bills and do what you need to do at home. And what happens is we continue to work. We work more and more hours trying to make more and more money. And the problem is, next thing you know, we're working 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week and we're burnt out and we're tired. And the only way we can grow our business is we keep thinking we have to work even more hours. And it just is a vicious cycle. And guess what? We no longer enjoy our business. It's a pain point in our business because we know we cannot keep doing that over and over and over. And that is one of the problems that we have. Now, another one that I run into all the time is that where people go, God, I'm over my head. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got all this business. I'm clueless. I don't understand my numbers. I don't know what to do. I know I should be making more money. And at the end of the day, there's just no money there. I don't understand how I can take in all of this money and there just not be anything. And that's a pain point for that business owner. Now, they might also be working some of those crazy hours. There's nothing saying you can only have one pain point at a time, but that is something that I hear over and over. I also hear from people that say, hey, you know what? I'm so in debt and I just can't get out of debt because I went out and I bought all this equipment and this truck and I bought this and these tools and all this inventory or whatever the case may be. And I can't get out from underneath all of this debt that I have. And I make a good living. I make good money. My business makes good money, but yet I'm sitting here 70, 80, 90, $100,000 in debt. That's one of the other pain points that I hear on a regular basis. Yeah. Another one that I hear is someone's been in business for several years and their pain point is one of plateauing, where they've hit a certain ceiling in their business and no matter what they do, they can't grow that business. They can't grow it. They can't grow the sales. They can't grow the profits of the business, and they feel like they've kind of flatlined. And their pain point is the fact that they know they want more. They want the business to become better. They want to gain back some of their life, whatever they're searching for. that business has plateaued. And so their pain point is, how do I get past that? Think of it like a staircase that has a turn. How you go up a flight of stairs, there's a flat part, then it turns and goes back up. Well, they're stuck on that landing pad, if you will. That's a bunch of people's pain points as well. There's folks that are busier than crap, and they know they're busier than crap, but yet there's just no money. There's no money at the end of the day. Yes, they're able to take a decent salary, but for how busy they are, they just know that, hey, I should be making more money. And in case you haven't realized, there's no rhyme or reason to these items. I just kind of started writing them down as I started thinking about some of the pains that I hear on a regular basis from folks just like you. There's folks that are just tired. Just absolutely tired. We've talked already about the fact that they're working these crazy hours. Now, here's one of the problems with some of those crazy hours while I'm thinking about it is there's people that are working crazy hours because they go out all day, they get up, they go out, start business at 7 a.m, and then they get back at 7 p.m, and then they've got to spend another couple hours working on their bookkeeping and everything else. And then there's people that never even have time to work on their bookkeeping, their invoicing, their advertising, their marketing. They're working on the business. They don't even have that kind of time. And the number one excuse I hear from people when they don't work on their business or they don't learn their business numbers is, I don't have time. I'm by the time I actually have that time, I'm so tired and so exhausted from working. I just don't have that time. And here's the sad part about all of that. People don't realize that because you don't make that time, you have to keep working more hours and you're going to continue to be tired. It's a catch-22. It's something that you cannot fix the first part about being tired without working on your business. And yet you can't work on your business because you're tired and because you just don't have those hours, which kind of leads to another one of those pain points is the fact that part of the reason that people are working so many hours is they just don't have the processes in place. They don't have the processes in place to get some of that time back. They don't have the processes in place in order to identify the opportunities for not only time, but also money. And the two most precious things you have as a small business owner is your time and the money that you have in your business and how you're trying to keep it. So processes are a huge thing. And there's so many people that are stuck. Remember, go back to that plateau, that person who's stuck. Part of the reason they're stuck is a lack of processes. They may not see it right away, but the reason they cannot grow is because the processes aren't in place to allow them to grow. So it's not a sales problem. It's not that they can't get more sales. It's the fact that they can't grow because they haven't found the processes to increase their profits. A lot of times people don't have a sales problem. They have a profit problem, which goes back to the whole know your business numbers, which I'm always talking about. At the end of the day, you hear me talk about this all the time, folks, is yes, you set out to start a business, but you end up owning a job. And we get lost somewhere in there because we don't understand the business of a business. What we do understand is how to do what it is that we do. So for example, if I know how to clean carpets, then I just go out there and I do everything I can to clean carpets. If I'm a handy person and I start a handyman business, that's what I know how to do. So that's what I spend all my time doing. If I'm a plumber, I go out and I do plumbing stuff. The problem is when you become a business owner, you did not go out to become a plumber. You did not go out to become a handyman. You did not go out to become a carpet cleaner. What you did is you became a business owner who happens to do those things. So it's important that you understand that there needs to be a chunk of your time working on the business owner side of it and how to become a better business owner. And that becomes one of those pain points is because there is this tug and pull within ourselves because we feel we need to do those other things or we have a joy out of doing those other things. And what we hate is the business side of it. And I'm telling you right now that if you have a business and your joy comes from the doing of it and not from running the business, then you really do not need to be a business owner. And I'm not citing you. That does not have anything to do with how good you are at what you do or what kind of business you've built. It's just you cannot find joy if you are only focused on the fact that you love doing what it is that you do. You've got to find that balance because ultimately you bought a business, okay? And if you don't run it like a business, then really what you did is you bought yourself a job. And if you're okay with that, great. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just know that you bought a job for yourself, not a business. And you're not necessarily a business owner. You just are a plumber who happens to own a business, or you are a carpet person who happens to own a carpet business. But your identity is still stuck in what it is that you do. part of the challenge that when I go back to the pain point that you're solving, here's ultimately where the problem becomes, because there comes this point in time where as that business owner, you just want to give up. And that pain becomes so great that you start asking yourself, do I really want to be a business owner? Is this really what I want to do? And you kind of get on that fence of going, I don't love this anymore. I don't really want to do this. I'm tired of working all these hours. I'm tired of chasing all these sales. I'm tired of not making the kind of money that I used to make. I'm tired of being in charge of people. I'm tired having to work so hard for so little. Let's face it, one of the pain points I didn't even talk about was trying to find employees. That's a huge one today. Okay. But at the end of the day, what happens is you become tired. And when you have these pain points, that they become very frustrating. And in the beginning, they're like problems to be solved. But then it becomes a drag and it starts wearing on you. And you start questioning every decision that you make, and you don't make the right decisions. Folks, listen, that's one of the reasons I do this podcast. Someone was asking me the other day how long I've been doing the podcast, and I've been doing it for 5 years now. Every Sunday, I record these episodes. And the reason that I record these episodes is because I believe so much in you and what it is that you want to achieve. And if I have a piece of knowledge that I can share to help you with those pain points, then I absolutely want to do it. And when I hear from you guys, it really keeps me motivated. I had multiple emails this week from people that have reached out. I had calls with about 5 of you this week that I just absolutely enjoy hearing about your businesses, and you're from all over the place, all over the states. And it helps motivate me to keep doing this for you, because I want to help you with these pain points. And I guess that's why it became the subject for this week, is because listening to people's pain points and listening to where they're frustrated with their business, the one thing that I hear is they're ready for a change. Because honestly, when people reach out to me, it's usually because they have said, you know what, I know I need help. I know that I need to seek out more information. I know that I have to change things in my business. I need to understand my business numbers. I need to hold people accountable. I need to do whatever the case may be. And to me, that's what's exciting. And sometimes we just need to know that somebody's in our corner, that we're not in this alone. Let's face it, being a small business owner is a lonely gig. And a lot of times you think you're the only person going through it. And the reality is you are not the only one going through it. You're just not doing things in the right order. You have the right thoughts, you have the right ideas, you obviously have the right a good business, because if you have any kind of business at all, you've found something that people are willing to pay you money for. It's just a matter of, how do I grow that business? How do I increase my profits within that business? How do I run a better business? Okay. So if you've started a business and you can't get clients at all and you can't get sales at all, then yeah, maybe you've got the wrong business. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be a business owner. It means you've got the wrong business. Okay. That's a different pain point. But and I know this one's going to seem a little bit rattly, and I don't mean it to be. It's just, I hear you. I hear you. I guess if I can say anything else, is I hear your pain points. I hear your frustrations. I hear where you're stuck. I hear what you want to accomplish. I am here for you. You don't have to do this alone. Okay. I will continue to do these podcast episodes. I will continue to put new videos out on the YouTube channel. My goal is to continue to give you the tools necessary for you to turn this into a very profitable business for you. And while other people might be able to take you to infinity beyond, because that's what they specialize in, is that massive growth to millions and millions of dollars. My goal is, how do I help the little guy and gal, the people that are starting their business and they're in those early stages of running their business? And early stages doesn't mean early years. Some of you have run your business 10, 20 years. It's just you never got to that height of making the profits that you want to make. My goal is, how do I get you to over those hurdles and making really good, solid money? And then you can decide, is this the type of business you want, or do you want to grow it to infinity and beyond? Everybody's got different goals, and not everybody wants to have one of those huge, massive franchise type businesses that take over the world, dominate, or in 18 cities. Not everybody wants that. But what everybody does want is, everybody wants to make a good, solid living. Everybody wants to make a living that pays the bills. Everybody wants to make a living that allows them to buy a home for their family. Everybody wants to have a business that they can take vacations with their family. Everybody wants to have a job that allows them to go off and do the fun things they want to do, whether that's climbing mountains, playing poker, or doing whatever it is they want to do. Okay. That's what I want to help with. I want to help you go through these pain points, and how do we get you through them, and how do we solve them, and how do we help tweak your business so that you can get back some of your time, so that you can create the profitability that you want to create for yourself. I'm going to be here to help you out. And the best way for me to help you is also to hear from you. So don't be hesitant to reach out, to send me that email at tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com, tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com. It's always in the show notes. It tells you how to email me. Feel free to do it. I love hearing from you guys. That doesn't mean I'm going to spend 20 hours a week with you, but that's a whole different thing that you would have to do. But you know what? If you just need an ear, if you just need to celebrate a success, I have people that email me that tell me their success. They're like, oh my God, I just wanted to let you know this happened. And that's all they want. They don't need anything beyond that. Just the fact that they've got somebody that they can celebrate that success. I love those just as much as I love the ones that call up and they say, you know what? I'm frustrated. I've hit the wall. I've built this kind of business and I'm just not making money. And you know what? I love hearing from them so that I can help a little bit with that as well. I'm here for you. That's what this podcast is for. That's what the YouTube channel is for. And I just need you to try as much. Okay. So when you feel like you're ready to quit, when you feel those pains have gotten too much, just reach out. Tell me what they are. Let me give you a little bit of advice. If you just need me to listen, that's fine too. If you just need to ask me a question, let me answer, and you never answer back, I'm cool with that too. Okay. This is your journey. And I just know that I am a small piece of that journey, and whatever that may be. And not everybody's going to like what I have to say. Not everybody's going to agree with what I have to say. You know what? People can sit there and they can tell you different ways of looking at your P&L than what I do. And that's okay. If somebody wants to teach you the way that a corporate America and the fine details of stuff that will never matter to you in a million years, go for it. Learn that. But you know what? The basics that you need to know is sales minus cost of goods minus expenses equals profits. And if you use that for your P&L and for your sales, guess what? And for pricing, you're going to do really, really well. And then as you grow that business, and then as you build this empire, yes, you're going to need to know it a little bit deeper than that surface level that I teach it to you. But my goal is, how do I teach you the basics? Because without the basics, you're never going to learn the more complicated pieces of running your dang business. And that goes for every level of your business, for everything in your business. Because if you don't understand the basics of marketing, you're not going to be able to grow to understand the more complicated pieces of it. If you don't understand the basics of hiring people and developing them and training them, you're never going to understand the more complicated pieces when you have 100 people. If you don't know how to manage 1 to 2 people, you see what I'm saying? So this whole thing is about, how do we get you a good, solid foundation, and then you can decide where you want to take your business after that. All right, I'm rattling, and I know I am. It's just, you guys are heavy on my mind this week. And part of it is because, like I said, I've had some great conversations this week with people, and it reminds me why I do this and why I plan to be here for you. Okay. At the end of the day, I want you to understand your business numbers, because if I can leave you with this one piece of advice, it's very crucial that you learn your business numbers. The one thing the last 5 years have taught me is to really dial that down and to talk about that over and over and over. And that's why it's become such a central theme to what it is that I do. Because at the end of the day, if you understand your business numbers, it creates that freedom that you want. It helps you work less hours and not more hours. It helps you get out of debt. It helps you know if you can hire employees. It helps you understand if you can buy that piece of equipment or that truck or whatever it is that you want to do. It helps you understand, for some of you, if you should have a brick and mortar business. Oh my gosh, there's so many people that reach out to me and they want to do a brick and mortar business, and that is the worst thing that they could do for their business, just because of the costs alone and expenses associated with having a brick and mortar business. And there's some people that are wondering, should I get out of brick and mortar and just go to offline and doing it a different way? For some of you, that's an absolute yes, because it's such a high cost. But it all comes down to the one thing that I'm going to continue to do, which is business numbers, business numbers, business numbers. And you can hate math all you want, but I can help you learn to love your business numbers, because the business numbers are the key to you unlocking a lot of that pain that you feel. Because when you are knowledgeable and you understand, oh my gosh, you make completely different decisions and you find that you make really good money. And that's what I want to try to do for you. Okay. All right. I know I'm rattling. I'm going to stop rattling. I appreciate you just coming this far with me on this episode. And, we'll get back to normal one topic episodes going forward. But in a way, this is a one topic. It is the pain point that you are faced with and that you are dealing with. And just know that I am here for you. And I appreciate every single one of you that that tune in every single week to listen to me rattle on about something. And I really love it when I know and I hear back, if you will, that it's making a difference, that it's helping you get inspired in your business, learn more, make more money. It makes it all worth it to me, and I'm going to continue to be there for you. All right, with that, I am out of here, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, badass business owner, before you go, as you know, I'm a huge believer in you knowing your business numbers. After all, it isn't about how much you sell, it's about what you keep. And the best way to grow your profits is to start diving in and understanding those business numbers. To help you on this journey, I have created the Know Your Business Numbers course. We will walk through how to read your profit and loss statement. You'll learn the key calculations that'll help ensure that you're making a healthy profit on all of your products or services, plus a ton of other good stuff that'll help you learn how to use those business numbers to create even more sales and profits. Just check out the link below in the show notes or visit knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. So if you're ready to increase those profits, it's time you start diving into your business numbers.